Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful shift in business strategy. It's a blueprint for building a company that isn't just profitable, but, well, pretty much unbeatable in today's market.
Does this picture look a little too familiar? I mean, you're working harder than ever. You're spending more money. You're pushing your team to the absolute limit. But the results, they're just not showing up. It feels like you're on a hamster wheel, right? Just doing more and more, but getting less and less. If that strikes a chord, you are definitely not alone. This feeling has a name. It's called the performance plateau. And the thing is, it's not about you not trying hard enough. There's a really specific structural reason why so many businesses get stuck right here. To really get our heads around this, let's start with a story that just perfectly illustrates the whole problem. This is the cautionary tale of a company called Trinity Gear and Rod. Now, Trinity was a solid company, a good manufacturing firm. But for 5 years straight, their profits were totally flat, stagnant. They were stuck, and so they did what most companies do. They tried all the usual conventional tactics to get things moving again. So what was their first move? They cut their prices, hoping to grab more business. But guess what happened? Their biggest competitor, Axiom Global Gear, matched their prices almost immediately. Poof. Any advantage was gone, and now everybody's profit margins were just getting squeezed.
Okay, plan B. They started pouring money into advertising, into trade shows, you name it. But here's the catch. It didn't actually create any new demand. It just added a whole lot more cost, pushing their margins even deeper into the danger zone. And to make matters even worse, their so-called loyal customer base was just vanishing. Thanks to the internet, their customers could find a better price on gears from a company in Singapore or a better fishing rod from Brazil in like 5 seconds. All that history and customer service, it meant nothing. So here's the bottom line. Their old playbook was an absolute failure. Their salespeople couldn't even get prospects to return their calls. Doing more of the same wasn't just not working, it was actually making things worse. You see, the problem wasn't Trinity's effort, and it wasn't really their product either. The real problem was the entire rulebook they were playing by. It was a business model that was completely, totally outdated for the world we live in now. For decades, this was the path to success. It's called the product-first formula. You make something great, you build an assembly line, and then you put all your energy into selling as many units as you possibly can. But this model only really works under some very specific conditions. And yeah, you guessed it, those conditions are long gone. The old world had a slow pace of change, not a ton of competition, and customers who didn't have much information. Today's world, it's the exact opposite. We've got crazy fast change, fierce global competition, and customers who are so empowered they can find anything, anywhere, instantly. The old formula hasn't just cracked, it's completely collapsed. So, if that old model is broken, what do you replace it with? Well, the answer isn't some small tweak, it's a complete, fundamental shift in how you even think about what a business is. The new way of thinking starts by letting go of your obsession with your products, with your what. And instead, the focus shifts entirely from the what to the who. It sounds simple, right? But believe me, this one little change in perspective changes every single decision you make from here on out. And this is what we call the relationship-first formula. You're redefining your company not by what it sells, but by who it serves. Let's look at another example that makes this crystal clear. Okay, picture a company called Bouncy Basketballs, Inc. They were failing because they were just stuck selling a commodity. Now, instead of trying to make a slightly bouncier basketball, they completely transformed into the basketball people. See the difference? Their focus shifted from the product to the person, and that opened up a whole new universe of opportunities for them. So, how do you actually put this into practice? How do you make this shift? Well, this new way of thinking is really built on 3 core game-changing strategies. This is the foundation right here. It's a 3-step process. First, you choose your customer type. Second, you give away value to start building a relationship. And third, you offer flexible value components. Now, it might sound simple, but it's a huge departure from the old way of doing things. Let's break it down. First up, and listen, this is probably the single most important strategic decision you'll make. You have to decide exactly who you serve. I don't mean a vague market segment. I mean a specific type of person. Not associations, but association managers. Getting that specific focuses all your energy and, pretty quickly, makes you the go-to expert.
Second, you start the relationship by giving, not by selling. You stop with the cold calls, you stop with the sales pitches. Instead, you create something called a controlling promotional idea, which is basically a program that offers incredible value for free. Think of something like the Dentist Support Network. It's not selling anything, it's offering help which naturally attracts the exact customer you want to serve.
And finally, you deconstruct what you sell. You stop offering these rigid, one-size-fits-all products. Instead, you offer flexible value components. This lets you combine them in like a million different ways, creating custom-tailored solutions for each client and making your business incredibly adaptable to whatever comes next. Now, here's what's really, really interesting about all this. This is more than just a smart business tactic. It actually becomes a way to design a business that serves you and the life you want to live. The goal is no longer just about pumping out more widgets. Instead, you start by asking yourself, what does my perfect workday actually look like? Who are the kinds of clients I would be genuinely excited to work with every day? This strategy isn't just about making more money. It's about designing a business that delivers the life that you actually want. So the ultimate takeaway here is this. Shifting from selling products to serving people isn't just a tactic for survival. It's how you build a business that is not only successful, but is also perfectly aligned with your personal definition of a winning life. Which leads to the final question, really. What does winning look like for you?